knowledge that is created by the sciences is that it is willing to prove that it is wrong in light of new evidence, right? We thought for over 100 years that if something is on fire, it releases a substance called...
In this particular case, we were able to identify a single DNA base pair change in a receptor in the pigmentation pathway that makes these mice lighter than these mice. So this, at the time, made a big splash in evolutionary biology because we connected DNA all the way up to organism and fitness. This is the kind of stuff Charles Darwin would go nuts about. But it also had these sort of interesting implications for human biology. So it turns out that humans have the same gene, not surprisingly. Basically, we have the same 20,000 genes as the mice do, same 20,000 genes.
It's doing a whole lot, but I'm also telling you the orientation it is with respect to your line of sight, which turns out to have an impact on the observational signatures that we see. I'm not going to talk very much about that because it's its own special, that's another 7 minutes.
Nothing gets that many dislikes, but I did. So I learned some important lessons. I got sad at first, but then I said, I'm not going to stop making videos because it's like breathing for me. So how can I make videos that people will like, because they don't like what these videos are? So one of the first lessons that I learned and took very hard is that comedy is hard on YouTube. YouTube is a global...
Have a special name. They're called quasars. Have you heard this name before? Quasars? Yeah. I find that it actually has more like exposure than I thought it did. I thought that if I said blazar and quasar, it'd be the same because people hadn't heard of it. But it turns out that quasar has started to like diffuse into at least sci-loving pop culture, which means that half of my diabolical scheme is over.
But after taking that journey, I saw something different in every place that I have ever been. So let me give you an example. Every ocean, pardon me, every glacier that I have ever punched my crampon into is melting. Every one of them. The Houghton Glacier in Alaska, melting. Aconcagua, melting. Kilimanjaro, melting. 600 feet of the Khumbu Glacier, that's half-mile thick ice, 600 feet of the Khumbu Glacier in Everest has melted away since I climbed it. So...
knowing that the world is permanent, even if you momentarily lose contact with it. Another possibility is that you could have learned it. So you've been opening your eyes and blinking for years and years and years and years. Maybe every blink has provided you with data that you've gradually accumulated to be able to draw the inference that, well, the world's still going to be there when I open my eyes next time, right? So you could have acquired that knowledge. How are we going to know which of these accounts is correct?
About it is that the lithium, even if it gets neutrons come out of the fusion and react with the lithium, all it does is breed the fuel that's needed for the fusion. So it's fantastic. Okay. But our government is funding it at the level of less than a quarter.
Round 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, I'm Professor Emily Carter. I'm a professor at Princeton, professor of mechanical and aerospace engineering and applied and computational math. I am actually trained as a physical chemist originally, which at the time I just did it because I loved the subject.
Signals were pumped.
Yeah. Cool. So I realized that my job as a moderator of this event is to.
And then around the time you start school, that's when you not only start forming memories, but you can structure it into a story.
Live from London, off to New York.
Hi, New York. You can't beat this because I absolutely loved it.
And that is that.
She's lucky she has a British accent. So wonderful. So everybody say hi.